A couple of months ago, I released a free cookie banner for everyone to download. And today I'm releasing an update to that cookie banner. It's version 9. In this video, I'm gonna go over what has changed, how you can update, and if you should update in the first place. Let's dive in. Hey and welcome to the channel. My name is Leon. This channel exists to help you as a digital marketeer collect data that you can trust so your campaigns can run at their full potential. I want to take a moment and celebrate that we've had hundreds of downloads on the free cookie banner already over the past few months, and that every day people are discovering it. And at the start, when I made it, I imagined that this would go along very well with a training product explaining everything A to Z on cookie banners and consent mode, because even on my free videos I see a lot of people still are struggling with this. And so I put up a wait list to find out, like, are people actually interested in that? And turns out people are interested in that, and I've had enough interest on the wait list to be able to announce that I'm gonna develop this training product, and I'll probably release this by the end of September. So if you're interested in a training product that takes you from A to Z, implementing a cookie banner, implementing consent mode, that saves you a lot of time figuring out all of this on your own. These are the exact processes that I use in my own setups. If you're interested in that, sign up on the waitlist below. If you are on the waitlist, you'll get a special offer that no one else will get. So if you're interested, make sure that you're on the waitlist. All right, let's talk about the updates. What has changed? Well, first of all, these are minor changes. Under show settings, I've included another category. It's called embedded content, and here you can ask people for consent to use embedded content. So things like embedded YouTube videos, embedded Instagram snippets, embedded X or Twitter snippets. These all come with some form of tracking, some form of cookies, and it's a good idea to get consent for that as well. I'm developing an add-on where it's easier to implement this on the website. So this is just getting consent. There is work to do on your website before these embeds are blocked prior consent. Because the ideal scenario is, okay, people land on your site, they click, for instance, they click deny. In that scenario, that YouTube embeds will be blocked with a short message say, hey, we need consent for this. And then you click on a button and then a pop-up opens. And I'm developing an add-on for this that makes this whole process easier. And I'm probably gonna include that add-on in the training package as in the bonus section. And of course, I'm also using that and also testing that in my own production setups. But this is one change. Another change that I made is visible in the privacy policy, and it's really in the consent logging space. So if somebody accepts cookies or denies cookies, there is a consent ID, and I improved this. It's now consists of 4 sections. First section is the client ID, and this is stable. So if somebody changes their preferences, the first is going to be the same. So afterwards, you'll be able to better see, like, okay, there was one person that has changed their preferences over time. The second part is the timestamp. So a website or a data analyst will be able to convert this into a date and a time. So when did people give consent? Then there is the consent version. Consent version is a way for you to invalidate all previously given consent. So let's say you had a cookie banner getting consent for functional and analytics cookies, but now you're starting up with marketing. Well, all the previous consent that were given were only for the functional and analytics. So now you want to invalidate all those and you want to renew the consent, so to speak. In the settings, you just bump it up to 2 and everyone gets to see the cookie banner again, even if they gave consent prior to that. And in the consent ID, I also store the version that people gave consent for. So you are able to go back and see, okay, this was version 2 where they gave consent. And the last part is just a random string, and that is the consent ID. And if somebody accepts cookies or denies cookies, I improved the data layer call. So in this case, there's a clear cookie save preferences, where you have a consent ID and a consent string that you can then send to GA4 or another logging platform that you can use. So one last thing that I did is I made the development process a lot more structured, organized, and a lot more professional. So to be honest, this has been a really stable solution. I've used this on a lot of setups as well. And again, hundreds of people have downloaded my solution. Almost no complaints. I have made it a lot easier to make a new update and release it to the public. So if there is a bug, it's going to be a lot quicker to solve it and then release a new version for you to use. All right, how to update. Well, if you have downloaded the cookie banner in the past, you probably received an email with the download link. And if for some reason you're not subscribed anymore, or you didn't get my email, you can always re-download via link in the video description. Either way, you'll get this clearcookie version 9.zip, which is by now the latest version. And if you double click this file, you'll get a folder with a couple of documents. First of all, the changelog contains raw notes from me about what has changed. Again, these are quite raw, but I want to be as transparent as possible what I'm changing in the software that you have on your site. There's a license, there's the JSON file. This is the GTM container that you can import, just like you will see me do in the original implementation workshop that is accompanied with the original download. And then there's the clearcookie HTML file. And I like to open this in my code editor. But if you don't have any code editor installed on your system, it's probably easiest to just rename this to clearcookie.txt. And if you do that and you double press, you will just be able to open it up in a regular text editor, and you'll be able to work with it there. I like to work with the HTML version because I get nice colors in my text editor, but again, it doesn't really matter. If you see this will probably look familiar to you because this is exactly what you get in GTM. First of all, we'll start with some settings, some style, and then the cookie banner itself. And probably you've made changes by now. You've translated the banner, you've made changes to the configuration or the style. So we don't want to override that. The way to do that is just leave that alone and only copy the thing below. So there's a line that says don't edit anything below this line. We're going to copy that and copy everything below. So I'm copying everything from the don't edit anything below this line until the end. I'm copying this to my clipboard and I'm going into Google Tag Manager. I have the version 7, the old version. I have that here in my GTM. And I'm scrolling down until I get the don't edit below anything below this line. And in this case, the comment is still part of the style block. So I'm going to remove this style block. And there's a script block here as well. I'm going to remove that as well. So you only have the settings, the style, and the original cookie banner code. And now I'm going to paste in the style and script from the update. So don't edit anything below this line. And here's the compressed code from the update. I can just hit save. And the last thing that you really need to do is you really need to test your implementation. So take your time and test every scenario that you have. Test your consent mode setup if you have any, because that is just really important. I've tested this, of course, and let me just reset the banner, clearcookie.reset. So here it is, show settings. So these are my original settings. I'm going to save the settings. It all works. Let's also test the privacy policy. So privacy policy. Yeah, this also works. Just go through your implementation and verify that everything works. Because of course, this is really important for your data collection. If something is off, chances are that you might miss data and you don't want that. So take your time again, test if everything works. But this is really everything there is to it. This is how you update from version 7 to version 9. All right, last question. Should you really update? Well, to be honest, I only like to update whenever there is a specific reason for it. And right now, if you haven't had any issues so far, there's probably no reason. So if you've watched the video so far and you think, okay, I don't really need all the new features, you're safe to just leave it as is. Okay, that's it for today. I want to thank you for watching. I hope this video was clear. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Consent Mode training package waitlist. If you're interested in that, you will receive a special offer that nobody else will see once it's done. Aside from that, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.